PowerWash Simulator just hit Xbox and Game Pass yesterday, and these are some tips for absolute beginners by absolute beginners. So first off, the first two tips, shout out to Jocko for letting me know before I started. One, there's no music in the game. So if you just want to hear the sound of water pressure and other ambient sounds like birds, then you won't need music. But otherwise, BYOM. The second one is the time for the jobs. The first job in career mode took me about 8 minutes. The second job took me somewhere between 45 minutes and an hour. And the game saves pretty consistently, so you don't have to finish a job. You can quit out and come back and pick up pretty much where you left off. But if you're going to sit down to finish some of these jobs, I can already tell they could be in the couple hours or more is my guess. So for some tips that I have come up with, and I'm going to go ahead and start up this clean the dirt bike one. We're not going to go through the whole thing, but let's just use it as an example. So the first tip I have is distance can matter. So we can stay way back here and hit some dirt, but there's going to be some dirt that if you get closer, it will take the dirt off easier and faster. The second tip I have is left trigger turns your nozzle. So sometimes it's more convenient to go left and right. Sometimes it might be more convenient to go up and down on vertical items like these handlebars, or the fairings and the seat and the tank might be easier to go horizontally. So left trigger turns your nozzle. The next tip I have is LB changes the nozzle head. So right now you'll see we have a pretty wide nozzle head. By pressing, this is the widest it gets. And this from a distance probably isn't going to take off a lot of dirt, and especially the caked on dirt. But if you change the nozzle head, you should see the dirt is coming off faster, but obviously you're hitting a smaller amount. And then if you turn it to the tightest, that's where you can get the hardest dirt off. So let's go a little deeper into that. With our next tip would be if you hold down on the right trigger is a height adjustment. And the devs like to hide dirt. You'll see dirt right up there under the rear fairing, and also here under the muffler. So yes, right trigger, adjust height. Pushing down on it. Next one, and this one might be one of the most helpful if you didn't see it in the menu selection before. If you tap right on the D-pad, it shows you in orange, which I guess on highlighted orange, on an orange bike it might be a little hard to see, but you can see where the dirt is. And so this is extremely beneficial and highly recommended. Now, holding down on it does not keep it active any longer than just tapping it. So the next tip is the start button will take you right to a item by item list of what you have completed the cleaning and what still needs to be cleaned and how much percent. So extremely helpful. By way of example, the seat's only 98% clean. So we could come back and stand up and probably come around this other side Let's change the nozzle a little, hit the seat, and there it highlighted blue, so now the seat is clean. And if we go back, we should see, yes, the seat is 100% clean. Which leads me to the next tip, which is if you're OCD, it's going to probably be better for you. Finish what you start might be a pretty good rule of thumb, because if you have a lot of different items, sometimes the details here on bigger projects seem like it's going to be hard to go back and find what you missed. So the last tip I have, going to check my list real fast, make sure I didn't miss any. Nope, everything's been hit. So the bonus tip I have is rubber band the right trigger potentially. The longer you play, it's just so unnecessary to be holding the right trigger down the whole time. So hope these help at least one person. If you're experienced with the game, or if you're a beginner and you have more tips, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. You disagree with any of the tips, please feel free, or I've made any mistakes, please feel free to leave a comment. Also, if there are any intermediate or advanced players of the game, since this has been out on PC for a while, I believe, if you want to leave some comments that would be more intermediate or advanced, those are videos I'm going to be releasing in the future as I get more into the game. So I'd give a shout out to you and as credit, and put your comment in the future videos. So that's about it for now. Really enjoying the game and hope you are too. Thanks for watching, or reading if you chose to read the comments.